you make reggaeton, there's a ton you can learn from sound design and the style. So today we're going to make 4 different sounds from chords, basses and leads. Let's start with a Bad Bunny song. Start with a sine. To add a vibrato, we're going to add the LFO to the pitch, EQ to remove some lows, and to make the sound wider, we're going to add microshift. If you don't have this plugin, you can try using a chorus or doubler plugin. Bonus tip, edit our oscillator so there's only 2 wavetable positions. Adjust the tone to taste. I'm setting the first one to a sine and the second one to a sine and an octave up. Now we can use the LFO to crossfade between these 2 textures. The original doesn't do this, but I feel like it's a cool way to make it sound more unique, so give it a try if you want. Next sound is a bass sound, and you're going to hear this type of bass sound quite a lot in reggaeton music. We're going to start with a saw, add envelope 2 to the filter. That sounds a bit too buzzy, so we're going to add a bit of unison to fill out our sound, and reduce the spread to make it a bit more narrow. Add an EQ to make our sound more exciting. And for effects, we're going to use an 1/8 note delay. But this is going to sound a bit too muddy because it's a bass sound and you're going to have low frequencies bouncing all over the place. So we're going to add the EQ to filter out the mids. Now we need a sidechain pumping effect. So every time the kick hits, the bass is going to get out of the way. So for this, I'm using Ableton. But if you're using another software, you can use Kickstart, you can use LFO tool, or you can use one of my favorite plugins, Flux Mini. This is a free plugin you can use in any DAW, and I will show you how to use it on our next sound. If you're liking the video so far, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And every sound we make today can be available in my Patreon. So if you wanna save time from remaking all the sounds, download the presets in my Patreon. Our next sound is a lead, and this one has a really unique texture, so I really wanted to create it for our video today. Start with a saw with some unison. Remove some highs. To create a wah-wah effect, add LFO 1 to the filter. Now we're going to add tons of effects to create the right tone for our sound. Multi-band compression to make the sound more alive and in your face. Dirty filter, this is going to be adding some distortion to our sound. We're going to need a lot of this for this preset. EQ to enhance the tone. Reverb so it's not too dry. RC20, this is adding some wobble and more distortion. Play around with the different distortion types. I chose iron. And now we're going to add Flux Mini. This is going to add a pumping effect to our sound. Sometimes you can have it more extreme like this for reggaeton synths, and sometimes it's a bit more subtle. If I was to make the sound again, I'd use a different method. I would use a multi-band saturation plugin like Saturn by 5 Filter or Isotope Trash 2. And these plugins allow you to select a select frequency range. Let's say I want to saturate 1K, and then there's lots of different distortion types. So I feel like that would be able to give you the exact tone you wanted because you've got more control over how the sound is saturating. There's multiple ways to get to the end result. Have a go at using the method that we use today. Or if you have the plugins, try using 5 Filter Saturn to saturate the mids of your sound. Now, 4th sound for today is the fastest reggaeton bass sound that I've ever made. But it sounds really powerful, so let's make it. Select the second wave shape, increase the release, and go into the oscillator editing section and adjust the level of this harmonic to taste. The bass line for this song alternates between the 1st and the 5th of the chord. So if you're making a bass melody of this sound, you could try doing that for your chord progression as well. Might sound cool.